Congratulations on your new Solis Barista Perfetta Plus. In this guide, you'll learn about the parts of the machine, their functions, and how to quickly set it up. We'll show you how to make espresso using pre-ground or fresh ground coffee, how to froth milk for lattes and cappuccinos, and how to prepare an Americano. Finally, we'll go over how to keep your machine clean and in good working order. In the accessory box with the Barista Perfetta Plus are a stainless steel 54mm portafilter, commercial and pressurized single and double shot filter baskets, an ESE pod basket, a stainless steel tamper, a 12-ounce stainless steel frothing pitcher, a rubber backflush disc, a coffee measuring spoon, a cleaning brush and needle, and an in-tank Brita water filter. On top of the machine is access for filling the reservoir and a cup warming surface. On the front panel, there are 4 backlit buttons: the programming button, the single shot extraction button, double shot extraction button, and steam button. There's also a pressure gauge which reads pump pressure when you're brewing. On the right-hand side, there's a knob that opens and closes the steam valve, as well as the main power button. To start up the machine, first remove and rinse the reservoir. Fill the reservoir with water to the max line and press the main power button. The single and double shot extraction buttons will flash. Once the machine is ready to brew, the lights will become solid. The Barista Perfetta Plus comes with a water hardness testing strip and an in-reservoir water filter that should be installed prior to using the machine. Using properly filtered water and replacing filters as directed will reduce the frequency with which you need to descale your machine and result in better tasting espresso. Before installing the water filter, dip the test strip into a cup of whatever water you'll be using to fill your machine's reservoir to measure its hardness. Rotate the knob at the bottom of the filter to match the hardness level of your water as indicated by the test, either A for soft, B for medium, or C for hard. Submerge the filter in water and gently squeeze it to remove any air from the filter. Insert the water filter into the bracket in the water tank. The rotating knob should face downwards. Fill the reservoir with cold, clean water and return it to the machine. Press the programming button followed by the steam button to enter the filter settings menu. The 2 brewing buttons will flash alternately. Press the single shot extraction button to indicate that you have inserted a water filter. If you are choosing to use the machine without a water filter, press the double shot extraction button. Again, best practice is to always use filtered water. When the single shot extraction button lights up solid and the program button flashes quickly, the setting has been saved. If you choose to not use a filter, the double shot extraction button will be lit instead. Place a 17-ounce cup under the portafilter and then press the programming button to exit the settings menu. The machine will automatically begin rinsing. The machine will beep twice and the program button will flash twice to indicate all settings have been saved and the machine is ready to brew. When it's time to change your filter, every 50 liters brewed, the single dose extraction button will flash white and red while the double dose extraction button is constantly lit. Note, the default setting on the machine is for no water filter. So if you choose to use the machine without a water filter, you do not need to do any programming. Again, this is not recommended. You'll make a higher quality espresso if you grind whole beans fresh right before making it. But if you do not have a grinder, you can use store-bought pre-ground coffee that's intended for espresso brewing or use pre-packaged ESE pods. If using store-bought pre-ground coffee, be sure to install the pressurized single or double-shot filter basket in the portafilter. That's the one with a single hole on the backside. For pre-ground coffee, load the pressurized filter basket with 1 scoop of coffee for a single shot or 2 scoops for a double shot. Use a tamper to lightly compress the coffee. For ESE pods, use the included ESE pod basket. That's the one with the pod icon on the bottom. Lock the portafilter securely in the group, place your cup or cups under the spouts, and press whichever brew button corresponds to the size of the basket you're using. The single shot extraction button for a single shot basket and the double shot extraction button for the double shot basket. Continue to hold the brew button until you have the desired amount of espresso in your cup. Doing so will also program the machine to dispense that amount of liquid when that button is pressed next time. Typical finished liquid volumes are about 1 ounce or 30 milliliters for a single shot made from 1 scoop of pre-ground coffee or an ESC pod, and 2 ounces or 60 milliliters if using 2 scoops of pre-ground coffee. If grinding your own whole beans fresh, install either the single or double shot commercial filter basket. Those are the baskets with many holes. Fine-tuning grind size is the key to success when grinding your own coffee fresh. It's a straightforward process of adjusting the grind size to change how long it takes the espresso to extract. Grinding finer slows down the extraction, and grinding coarser speeds it up. The goal is for the entire extraction to take about 25 to 30 seconds. Timing is the same for single and double shots, so start with a grind that looks like this, very fine. When you pinch it between your fingers, it should hold together a bit and be fine enough to maybe make out your fingerprints in the compressed coffee. When you have a grind size that looks like this, load your portafilter. It's important to try and use the same amount or weight of coffee each time. Using more coffee slows down an extraction, and using less speeds it up. The best way to be consistent is to weigh the coffee. But if you do not have a scale, you can get close by slightly overfilling your portafilter and swiping away excess coffee level with the rim. With the coffee loaded, use a tamper to firmly and evenly compress the coffee. You want a nice flat surface so brew water moves evenly through the coffee. Attach the portafilter and press whichever brew button corresponds to the size of the basket you're using. Time the extraction. Again, the goal is about 25 to 30 seconds for the extraction, and timing is the same for single and double shots. If your extraction was too slow, adjust the grind size a little coarser and try again. If the extraction was too fast, adjust the grind size a little finer to slow it down. Now, you could get lucky and get the grind size right in a couple of attempts, but no, it's not unusual to do 3 or more to dial into the right grind size. A good quality espresso-focused grinder helps a lot. Be consistent with the amount of coffee used and tamp coffee firm and level. Also know that grind size is not set and forget. If you change coffee type as your beans age or the amount used changes, your grind size will likely need slight adjustment. You've made your espresso, so let's look at frothing milk, and we'll combine the two for a latte. To start, press the steam button. This raises the temperature in the boiler to produce steam. While the boiler heats, the steam button will flash on and off. When it's up to temperature for steaming, the light will become solid. As the machine is heating, add about 4 to 5 ounces of milk to a frothing pitcher. The exact amount here depends on your final drink size. After 20 seconds, open the steam valve briefly to purge any water from the steam wand. Then position the tip just below the surface of the milk and open the valve. This tip position sips in small amounts of air, creating tiny microbubbles in the milk, which creates a rich, creamy texture. As the milk expands, lower the pitcher ever so slightly to keep the tip at the same depth just below the surface of the milk. When satisfied with the amount of air in the milk, lower the wand a little deeper below the surface and find a wand angle that causes the milk to swirl. The swirling breaks up any larger bubbles and creates a uniform milk texture in the pitcher. Keep the milk swirling until the outside of the pitcher just starts to get uncomfortable to hold due to heating. That's when the milk is at about 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 Celsius, the sweet point for milk temperature. Close the steam valve with the tip still below the surface and wipe down the wand immediately to prevent milk from baking on. Always purge the steam wand after frothing to ensure no milk solids stick to the inside of the wand. Before pouring the frothed milk over your espresso, you can tap and swirl the pitcher to break up any larger bubbles. Then pour a bit of the frothed milk in your cup and give it a little swirl to mix with your espresso. Then continue pouring the rest of the milk froth to fill your cup. It'll taste great just like this, or with a little practice and the help of online tutorials, you can dress it up with some latte art. To cool the boiler to brew temperatures after steaming, simply press either of the brew buttons. They will both flash as the machine cools down. During this process, hot water and steam will automatically be purged into the drip tray. Once the brew buttons are lit solidly, the machine is ready to brew another shot. Making an Americano is a way to enjoy a dripped coffee-sized beverage brewed with an espresso machine. Start by brewing a shot of espresso as you normally would. When finished, pour the shot into a coffee mug and position the steam on so it points into your mug. Then, while the machine is in brewing mode, open the steam valve. Hot water will dispense from the wand into your mug. When you've dispensed enough water, close the steam valve. A typical ratio of espresso to water for an Americano is 1:3 or 1:4, but you can add more or less to suit your taste. The Solis Barista Perfetta Plus can be set to brew at one of three temperatures: low, 194 degrees Fahrenheit, medium, 198 degrees Fahrenheit, or high, 201 degrees Fahrenheit. The default setting is low. To change the brew temperature, begin by pressing the program button. The three other buttons on the machine will flash alternately. Then press the single shot extraction button to enter temperature programming mode. When you do this, the buttons will light up to indicate the current temperature setting. If only the single shot extraction button illuminates, the machine is set to low temperature. If the double shot extraction button is also illuminated, medium standard temperature is set. If all three buttons are illuminated, the temperature is set to high. Press the button that corresponds to the temperature you want to set. Single shot for low, double shot for medium, and steam for high. Press the program button to save the setting. The machine will beep twice to indicate the setting has been saved. For a dark roast, the medium setting would be most appropriate. For medium or light roasts, use the high setting. The Barista Perfetta Plus can be set to brew single and double shots at program times. To do this, begin by preparing a single shot extraction either by grinding your own beans into a commercial basket, scooping the appropriate amount of pre-ground coffee into a pressurized basket, or placing an ESE pod into the ESE pod basket. Then lock the portafilter into the group head and place an espresso cup beneath the filter spout. Press and hold the appropriate extraction button for the dose you've prepared. Single shot extraction for the single shot basket and double shot extraction button for the double shot basket. Once the appropriate amount of espresso has been dispensed, release the button. The machine will beep twice to indicate that the brew program has been saved. The next time you want to brew that dose of espresso, simply press the button once and it will dispense espresso for exactly the same amount of time. For reference, a standard recipe for brewing espresso is to use a 1:2 ratio. That means you brew twice the liquid weight of espresso as the dry weight of coffee used to prepare the shot. So an 8-gram single shot would produce 16 grams of brewed espresso, and a 16-gram double shot would produce 32 grams of brewed espresso. You can always adjust the ratio you use to brew based on your flavor preferences. For a bolder, more intense flavor, try a 1:1 ratio. For a lighter, more delicate flavor, try a 1:3 ratio. It is recommended that you use a scale to weigh your grounds and espresso to ensure you are achieving the proper dose. You can program the Barista Perfetta Plus to enter an energy-saving eco mode after 10, 30, or 120 minutes. The default setting is 10 minutes. After being in eco mode for 20 minutes, the machine will fully power down. To adjust these settings, begin by pressing the program button to enter programming mode. The machine will beep once and the other three buttons will flash alternately. Once in programming mode, press the double shot extraction button to enter auto shutoff programming. The machine will indicate the current auto shutoff setting by illuminating 1, 2, or 3 buttons. If only the single shot extraction button is lit, the machine will enter eco mode after 10 minutes of inactivity. If the double shot extraction button is also lit, the machine will enter eco mode after 30 minutes of inactivity. If all three buttons are lit, the machine will enter eco mode after 120 minutes of inactivity. Press the button associated with the eco mode timing you'd like to enable: single shot extraction for 10 minutes, double shot for 30 minutes, and steam for 120 minutes. Finally, press the program button to save the setting. The program button will flash twice and the machine will beep twice to indicate the setting has been saved. You can restore the Barista Perfetta Plus to its factory default settings by pressing and holding the program button for 10 seconds. All four buttons will flash 3 times, and the machine will beep 3 times to indicate factory settings have been restored. To ensure your Barista Perfetta Plus stays in good working order, it is important to keep it clean. Filter baskets and portafilters should be rinsed off with warm water after each use. For more thorough cleaning, the included cleaning pin can be used to clean the hole in the pressurized filter baskets. It is not intended to be used with the commercial baskets. To deep clean the portafilter and commercial baskets, soak them in a solution of warm water and Kefitsa or a similar dedicated coffee cleaner, then rinse thoroughly before using again. The steam wand should be wiped down and purged after each use. For a deeper clean, unscrew the steam nozzle from the steam wand and rinse carefully in warm water. If the nozzle is blocked, use the large cleaning needle included to remove the blockage. If this does not work, soak the nozzle in a solution of hot water and Rinza or other dedicated milk cleaner for 10 minutes and try again. Screw the nozzle back onto the steam wand. If you notice the double cup extraction button flashing red, it means it's time to clean the group head of the machine. To do this, begin by placing the double shot basket into the portafilter. Insert the rubber backflush disc into the filter basket and add 3 to 5 grams of Kefitsa to the filter basket. Lock the portafilter into the group head and place a receptacle beneath the portafilter. Make sure it can hold at least 500 milliliters, that's 17 ounces, of liquid. Press the program button followed by the double shot extraction button to begin cleaning. The machine will clean itself for approximately 10 minutes. When finished, the machine will beep twice and both coffee extraction buttons will be lit. Remove the portafilter and the rubber backflush disc from the filter basket. With the portafilter removed, run hot water through the group head to ensure no cleaning agent remains. Rinse off the portafilter and filter basket to make sure no cleaning agent remains. Dry the group head, portafilter, and filter baskets thoroughly. If you notice a steam button on your Barista Perfetta Plus blinking red, that means it's time to descale the machine. If you don't, you might cause permanent damage to the machine. Empty the drip tray and the water reservoir. Remove the water filter. If you leave it in while descaling, it will be ruined. Replace the water reservoir and then add Ernex full circle descaling powder or another descaling agent and at least 1 liter of water. Place a 1 liter container under the brewing head and direct the steam wand into a container as well. While the descaling alert is flashing, press the program button. Both the program button and the steam button will flash red. Press the steam button to start the descaling process. For additional information on operating and maintaining your Solis Barista Perfetta Plus, see the operating instructions book which came with the machine. For technical assistance, contact customer service or tech support at Whole Latte Love.